All right, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Continuing the series on Awaken to Joy, based on my book, Awaken to Joy. I still love all my tabs. I've been going through looking at my tabs, seeing what it is that why I marked those pages. And some of it was for teaching, and some of it was for me personally, things that I needed to read. So today is on judgment. It's the last of the negative influences, and these are the things that drain your energy. Now, for those of you who can't stick around, I just want to let you know if you go to Erdman-Luntz.com/Awaken to Joy, you're going to get more info on all of this. But if you also just follow me here, so like my page on Facebook or follow me on Periscope, and you will be able to follow along because I've got about a week and a half more of videos. We've just been doing quick videos to share all of these topics with you. I'm just giving you little snippets on each of the chapters from Awaken to Joy, which is all about raising your vibration. So today's is on judgment. Now, this is, again, the last of the negative influences. And what I'm talking about with negative influences are those things that drain your energy, like really fast. And when I talk about draining your energy, I'm talking about you're feeling good to feeling really bad really quickly. You know, we've already talked about anger, we've talked about fear, and now we're talking about judgment. And judging definitely can. Now, I will tell you there's really two kinds of judgment. There's outward judging, which is when you judge others, and there's inward judging when you judge yourself, self-judgment. Neither is, I'm going to say is good, but the truth is we all judge, and sometimes it's just discernment. You know, you might look at someone and say, wow, they're overweight, but it's not a judgment, it's just an observation. You know, there is no negativity behind it whatsoever. You might go shopping and say, this is expensive, this is cheap. You might think kids are too noisy or traffic is too busy. And, you know, there's a difference between evaluation and actually true judgment, if you will, and I mean it in the negative term, where you feel like you know better. And that's really the essence behind energy draining judgment is, I know better, and you would do well to follow what I tell you to do. Now, I will tell you, and I giggle because my sister's listening and she knows this, I was really good at judging. I started in the fitness and wellness field. I got interested in 9th grade. And I was not shy about, thanks for the thumbs up there, sis. I was not shy about telling people why you shouldn't be doing what you're doing. You shouldn't be eating that cake, and you should be exercising. And righteousness kind of oozed out of my pores. And yeah, you know, I might have been right. Yes, you would be healthier if you were exercising. But yeah, there is so much more behind what we do than strictly following the rules. You know, there's so much more. And this, what I want to share with you actually is my story and how I released a huge chunk of judgment. So I was raised by a father who gets very annoyed in traffic, very annoyed. And if someone cuts him off, it's specifically that person was cutting him off to really annoy him. Like he was out to get him. I'm going to say he still does it. So there you have it. We actually joked as kids because he got this doll. There was this big campaign called Impatience Can Kill You, and it was this icky doll, ICKY, and you stuck it on the dashboard to remind you to stay patient as you were driving. And he put it there specifically for us kids who were learning how to drive, actually my brother and sister at the time. And we all giggled because we were like, what is this for? You know, and he said, well, you know, impatience can kill you. You got to be patient. And we were all patient and he wasn't. So it was kind of funny. But anyway, I found as an adult that I was stepping into that impatience with traffic. And here's my story I want to share that helped me let go of it. So when my daughter was born, she was actually born kind of quickly and almost in the car. And my husband, we had to get to the hospital through rush hour traffic. And our hospital was in downtown Minneapolis. We live in the suburbs. And she was literally born 12 minutes after we got into the unit, into our room, 12 minutes. So it was really close. And he was racing down the highway. He was cutting people off. He went through a couple of red lights. And it was a little scary, you know, and I, of course, didn't have a thought then. I was in the back seat birthing our little baby girl, But then on the other side of it, on the way home from the hospital, he's going down the same highway going 50 miles an hour. He was so nervous with this baby girl, our baby girl in this back seat with us. And it was so funny because in that was the moment, cars are going boom, 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 boom right by us. But in that moment, I thought, oh my word, those people have no idea. And, I recalled their trip into the hospital and how different it was. And now, to this day, when, I'm in traffic and someone does something crazy, I think, wow, I wonder if his wife is in labor in the back seat. Or they're going really slowly. It's like, oh, I wonder if they have a brand new baby in their back seat. And I will tell you that what I do now, and I don't always, I gotta tell you, I still slip into the judgment phase. I have released a ton of it, but it's still there. When I catch myself, what I like to do is think of 2 to 3 reasons why someone would be doing what they're doing. Okay, so did they have a baby in the backseat? If they're cutting you off, are they late for a job interview and they've been out of work for 3 years? Are they racing to say goodbye to a loved one who's passing away? I mean, these things you just don't know what could be going on. So whenever you feel that judgment come up, and we do it. It's the human condition. But what happens when we judge people, y'all? It's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It doesn't do anything to anybody else. So even if their behavior is something, and this is tricky, that you really find reprehensible, the judgment you feel in yourself only affects you. It doesn't affect the other person. And it's pulling you from your joy center. It's pulling you from your higher self. It's pulling you from your greater purpose. It's pulling you from being your best self in that day and being, the best person you can be to everybody you come into contact with. Do you see? Even when someone's being reprehensible in their behavior, your judgment doesn't serve anybody at all. Okay, so what I encourage you to do is just take a moment to think about someone in your life you're judging, someone who's not behaving in the way that you would think would be a better suited for them, and think about 2 or 3 other reasons why they might be doing what they're doing. Because the last thing I wanted to share with you before we go is to realize that we all have our stuff, if you will, that we need to go through in this lifetime to grow. The great story about, if you ever heard the story about the little boy who helped the butterfly come out of the cocoon. The butterfly was really struggling, so the little boy helped him come out of the cocoon, and then the butterfly couldn't fly because the work it takes to get out of a cocoon helps strengthen the wings on a butterfly so that it can fly. And I feel like that's true in our lives too, right? Everything we go through is calling us to be or do more, to evolve, to learn, to grow. I mean, think of any challenge you've been through in your life. If you look back, you are different as a result of it. You had to grow to get out of whatever that situation was, whatever that challenge was for you. And so when we're judging people because of whatever they're doing, whatever situation they're in, realize that situation and the getting out of it is helping them grow and evolve and strengthen their wings. So it's not for us to judge, it's just for us to have compassion. And it doesn't mean that they can't use an idea or two, but given from a state of love, not as a gift, not an expectation, okay? Advice is a gift, not an expectation. Big difference. It's a gift. Do with it whatever you want. I fall into that a lot because when I'm working with friends, I am a natural life coach. I mean, seriously, this is my personality. Yes, I took training, but I had to giggle all the way through the training. I'm thinking, what? This is just what I do already naturally. So it's hard for me not to step into the let's solve this mode. But I always be sure I add, whatever you do is just totally cool with me. This is just a couple of ideas if you want to try them. I'm not always really good at that. Still working on that one too. All right, y'all. So if this served you, please share with others. If this was helpful for you at all, share with others, pass it along. The program is free. Go to lauraerdmanluntz.com/awaken to joy. I've got about a week and a half left. I'll be back with you on Monday morning sharing more as we go through. We're going to be entering part 2 of the book, which is things that can be positive or negative. If you want to see the previous videos I've done, if you go to lauraerdmanluntz.com/awaken to joy, they are all there, all organized in order. So thanks for joining me, all. Have a spectacular day. May you be inspired to live your extraordinary life.